This is the challenge. Battle for a new champion.
Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year from the number one, the Right Reality Podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Mixie, and we are here to recap episode 11, My Own Worst Enemy, and episode 12, A Legend Returns, of the challenge season 39, Battle for a New Champion.
Woo!
Woo! We're back, baby!
We're back, baby! Happy holidays to everyone. Happy New Year from the number one. Wow. Starting off 2024 with 2 hot episodes. Some of you right now are looking at the time left remaining on this podcast, and you're slightly worried, as we are, because I know how much we have to discuss. We're not going to sit here like other podcasts and be like, hey, how was your Christmas? How was your holiday? What'd you do for New Year's? Like, did you eat a lot of food? Let's catch up real quick when they've already caught up. We're not going to do that.
We have important things to discuss, Stephen.
We have so many important things to discuss, so we have to just get right to the big discussion everybody wants the number one to talk about. This has been the giant topic that everyone has been talking about. Reddit's been on fire. X, formerly known as Twitter, has been talking about. All the groups that you have been talking about have been talking about this hot debate. And I know you've been waiting. You've been like, what's the number one to say about it? And you know what, Mixie, let's just get right to it. What's with all the ladies in the eye patches and the guys wearing eye patches? Oh, look, Mixie's got it on all of a sudden. So what happened? Where did you get them from? Well, how did those just appear?
They set such a high precedent for under eye health care that I needed to make sure that I was also pushing for it. I've had these for a while. I've put them on randomly. I don't know what these do. I couldn't tell you.
I was going to ask you, what are they supposed to do?
Well, here's the thing that doesn't make sense. I've always been under the impression they're for eye bags, right? But like I put them on correctly and look at the distance between like the patch and where my eyeball is. Like it's not really where the eye bags are. So I don't really understand that. You'll see, I'm sure that you guys all watched the episode and saw everybody wearing them incorrectly, like down here.
This is a troll, right? This is an absolute troll that they're doing, right?
It has to be.
That's the only explanation that I have at this point, is that this eye patch thing is just an absolute troll by the cast, and we will get to the bottom of it. We will message some people and ask if this was a troll job, because this is the only thing that seems what's going on.
I was so distracted. Honestly, episode 12 had it a lot more than episode 11. I think there was like 1 or 2 people episode 11 with the eye patches, but it was the entire episode.
I was waiting for Mr. TJ to just come out of the woods with someone.
Can you imagine how funny would that have been? Or Cara come on and like rip him off.
So ready for battle. Rip, you know?
Yeah.
God, that would have been great.
The funny thing to me was a lot of people had them on with makeup on or like other things, and I was just like, what are you guys doing? It made no sense to me. It's a fashion statement. I prefer Ed's bitch pleases, but the eye patches of episode 12 will live on in infamy.
I'm very glad we got to the bottom of that, and we've addressed the elephant in the room. That was the eye patches that seemingly came out of nowhere. I mean, we're not going to get into further discussion of who brought Vogue. YouTube Vogue.
I don't even know what they are. Like, what are they doing?
Just go over to YouTube for that one segment. Oh my God. She just fucking slayed. Oh my God.
Oh, fuck.
My goodness. That was fantastic.
They've done their purpose.
Okay, let's see them being removed.
Wow, look at the difference of nothingness.
Who are you? Where'd Mixie go?
I just got Botox.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Well, let's get started. We got a lot to get to, guys. I would first like to say one of my favorite parts out of any of these things was I did get to watch both of these episodes with Mom LaFranc. She sends her love to all the hotties.
Oh, hi, Mom.
She really enjoyed both of these episodes. I think she enjoyed one ending more than the other, but we will not go into that. And here's where it all kicked off. TJ at the end of the last episode was like, hey, we're going to go do a daily right now. We're going to go do a daily. And everybody's like, oh my God. And he's like, okay, beginning of this episode. All right, guys, we're going to go do a daily. Except we all went home. We had a nice meal.
Yep.
We probably showered, changed, put a new uniform on, and then we had a daily.
I was mad immediately upon this daily's arrival. I have so many questions, Steven.
Oh, God.
Why was it like dressed up like it was an exorcism of some kind or like a sacrifice table? Who the fuck took Olivia or tried to take Olivia on a graveyard date?
Serial killer, obviously.
And why was this at night? Nothing about this daily needed to be at night. If you're gonna do a night thing, all for it. Do something like you have to go find something or like searching or like things jump out at them. I don't know, like even a fucking haunted house I would have rather had than this shit. Why was it done in the dark?
I feel like it was for vibes only, right? It's just for vibes.
Boo. Respectfully, boo.
Oh, okay. Respectfully, boo.
You could have put it in like for vibes, you could have put it in like a abandoned warehouse and it would have been same vibes.
There you go.
If you're going to have them like stay up, they haven't slept, make them fucking run a while. Make them do some physical tasks and then at the end do some sort of trivia. Again, you know how I feel about the food things. I could go without them. I understand it. The trivia was entirely too easy. I cannot believe some of the things that were wrong. And the fact that they were doing it at night had nothing to do with anything. And it kind of made me mad.
I mean, I'm not going to say I definitely got all the questions right. I'm not going to say that. That would be...
I did too. And that's honestly embarrassing for them. That is too easy.
What?
I got all of them correct.
You got John Cena right?
I got John Cena. Duh.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, I couldn't see him, but I knew that was correct.
Come on.
And what kind
obviously,
of
John
idiot
Cena.
thinks Russia has more medals than us?
It made me angry. I want to go back to Olivia going on the graveyard date.
Sorry, I know. I went on a rant for a second. Please, we can go
Good
back.
idea or bad idea that she did not go on that date?
Great idea. She's alive because she didn't go on that date.
The guy's like, you canceled on me. I had this nice, fresh grave dug for you.
He better have been so ridiculously hot.
We will follow up maybe with her about that.
We're gonna have to because I don't understand. You have to be so insanely hot to even get away with asking a girl to go to a graveyard date.
But did he get away with it?
Well, he did. She just didn't go.
Okay.
He asked. It was on paper.
Yeah, it's on paper. So this makes me want to ask you, Mixie, worst date location you've been on?
Was it a date?
Okay. That's maybe the more important question.
To be honest with you, I hadn't been taken out. This is honestly really sad.
Okay.
So I was firecracker mix. I was not taken out on a proper dinner date until proper gutted. I wasn't taken out on a real dinner date until I met Chase.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's not sweet. It's sad. Who the fuck was I dating prior to that?
Firecracker mix days. You said it yourself.
I did, but like he actually took me to a dinner. I mean, I had sex in my college library, but I don't consider that to be a date.
No, not a date. That's not what a date is. Definitely not a.
I mean, it could have been a date.
Not the question. Not the question.
Technically, was a study date that just went. Did it go south or did it go north? I think.
Or did he go south?
Yo.
Hey yo. Hey yo.
Hope my mom doesn't listen to this one. Hey
yo. Go to the reference section. Some Dewey Decimal System action. Oh.
That XY axis. Anyways, what about you?
Hi, Mom. We ended up at a strip club.
That sounds like a great date.
It was great, but at the moment I was like, what are we doing here? Your friend works here. We're here to see your friend? What's going on?
That's a lot.
And that was the only time I saw her. Like, I cannot do this.
That's my kind of gal pal, though. Is she looking for some female friends? Because I'm there.
Just went to dinner, and then you're like, my friend is a bartender at a strip club. Do you want to go meet her and hang out there? I was like, yes.
First date?
First date.
Yeah, that's a red flag. That's a no-go.
Yeah, it was a no-go later, so
Yeah.
that would be it. Let me just say, an eating challenge with trivia, sign me up for an entire show of just this. Yes, please. Thank you. I'll take all of that. I know you don't want that. You're shaking your head. That's the last thing that you would want, but I like it. I like it a lot. It was very entertaining.
I like trivia. This trivia was boo. It just like it wasn't very good. It wasn't fun. There wasn't like exciting, fun questions, in my opinion. And there was 2 options. It wasn't like it wasn't real trivia to me. Real trivia is when they're hanging off the side of a building and TJ's giggling his little face off, asking them stupid fucking questions with no multiple choice answers. It's giving diet challenge. This is USA written all over it.
USA Plus.
Yeah.
If you will. USA Plus. Michelle was already like gagging at the beginning. I was just like, Mixie and her, just so relatable. Besties, obviously, at this point. You know, it hasn't even started, and she's like, bleh. Oh my God, I can't believe this is going to go. I will say there were some great moments from this daily that I knew you were going to enjoy because I knew the rest of it you were not going to enjoy. But I would like you to describe how you felt seeing how awful Raven was during this daily. How did that make you feel?
I mean, I feel vindicated, but all she does is vindicate me. So I honestly, God, every time I see her, she makes my blood boil. I don't know what it is. Like, it's just, and we'll get to the elimination as well.
Yeah.
It's giving Sarah. Again, I said this last time, and she just continues to, back me and showing great points. She got all of the questions wrong. And I will say this. Was she the one that was doing it by herself? No. Her team should have looked for 0.25 seconds and been like, hey, you dumb bitch. Obviously, Russia doesn't have more medals than us. What are you thinking? Clearly, you're not.
They were held out of some Olympics. So, no.
I hate history. I don't know any of this shit. We all know I'm bad at this stuff. Geography, who is she? I don't know her. But I do know that. That is basic 101. You should ask, we should DM Raven and ask her what the difference between an ocean and a sea is and see what she says.
No, was the count, was it for all Olympics or was it just summer? Do you remember what the question was?
I believe it was just very generally medals in the Olympics. Yeah, it wasn't even, or maybe it was gold medals. Either way, you're still picking USA. What are we doing?
I'm trying to think if it was like just summer, just winter, or total.
It doesn't matter, does it?
Because if it's winter, we're not in the list. Like Germany's at the top of the list, I think. Germany, Norway, they're at the top.
Well, yeah, that's their lives is being in that fucking shit.
Yeah. All right, I'm looking it up right now. Total all Olympics, not even close.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
We doubled them up, as a matter of fact. So that's what it is. I just loved it wasn't that she was just wrong. It was how confident she was with the wrong answers.
The Kylie Jenner one, I knew immediately too. It's like a known fact that Cristiano Ronaldo has like an astronomical amount of followers. He is the whole package. Every guy wants to be him because he's good looking and fantastic at soccer, and every girl wants to fuck him. What are they all going to do? Follow him on Instagram.
Including apparently Olivia. Olivia's like, he's one of the hottest men in the world. And I sat there and go, you know what? He looks an awful like Horacio, if we're being honest
He
here.
does kind of look like Horacio. Horacio's one of the hottest people I've seen on reality television, hands down, point blank. And I'll die on that hill.
And I'm supposed to believe at no point was there anything going on? You weren't interested?
I mean, we're going to get into that next episode. This whole thing doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but whatever. There was a period of just pure joy during this. Do you know what I could possibly be talking about there, Steven?
During the daily itself?
It was during the daily time period, but it wasn't about the daily. Something happened, and a fire burned inside of me, and I was so excited. I was like, is this the week that Mariah is gonna go in? We got family pictures of Mariah, and now we have gone from an episode where we got multiple family photos of Mariah to Mariah not going in. I am now terrified that she makes it to the final.
Oh.
They have checked off the box of showing her family and why she's there, and she wasn't eliminated. If we're being smart about it, that means she goes.
I think it's just, obviously, because we're the number one and they listen to us and then they change the show based off us. Everybody knows that. It's widely known. It's widely reported on. It's just, it is what it is, boys and girls. They know that we know what their game is now for editing, and they're like, we got to change it up. We've been blatantly exposed by the number one multiple times. You know, we got to do that. We have to change it up.
I love your positive thinking.
Well, obviously, because, you know, even the people at MTV can't listen to the official podcast.
Are we going to get into that right now? Because I actually don't think I could.
I feel like that needs to be a special episode.
I can't get there right now. You will unleash a beast that you will not be able to put back in the cage.
I'm going to go ahead and tease for the next episode. Mixie has, for audio only people, she has her hair in her hands and she's about to just yank it from the roots. Because I got a voice memo so deranged, so upset, so full of vitriol. It was just a thing. It was just, I was like chef kissing it left and right. I went back and I like recorded it because I was like, this is just beautiful.
Just to let everybody in on it. That this awful, horrific.
Careful. Don't jump in too far.
You're right. Okay. The official podcast for the challenge had Mariah on.
Oh, God.
And I needed to hear what she had to say about everything that's going on. I tried. And that's all I'll get to at this point. I had to send a voice memo to Steven about it. I can't get into it right now. We have way too much other shit to talk about. Oh,
we can't do it.
My God. Honestly,
maybe, you know what I'll do?
It's a new year.
I might grant the hotties with a special preview of it. I might be able to go in and give the hotties the audio recording, right? Because they've earned it. Well,
we should do a preview, like a preface. I need to paint the picture before.
Okay, we'll do that for them. We'll do that for them.
Special hotties release only. Please join the hotties. Link in the description.
There you go. You'll get the rant in there. It was fantastic. And then next week or 2 weeks from now, you'll get the full thing. But that's what it is. The last thing I wanted to ask you, I just wanted you to do some quick math. How many total seconds of the daily did you watch not covering your eyes with the vomiting that was going on? Just a ballpark.
I am an athlete. I watched the whole thing, but I hated it.
Devotion to the game.
The only thing that got me through was just I focused on Ed. Ed was just sitting there as if he was at his family dinner at TGI Fridays, hanging out with the crew. He was unfazed. I love Ed. Bring Ed back every season. He is the fucking best. And he kills it in episode 12, too. Ed is an underdog. I want Ed to win it all. I want Ed to constantly be on this show. He is an absolute light in my life. And I need him at all times.
Pro Ed podcast here.
Pro Ed.
Pro Ed. Anti-Raven. And Mariah. And Nerys.
I will also give Colleen a shout out as well. She fucking slammed that drink. Good for her.
She went for it. The people that went for it. It was great. We were granted a Christmas present in this episode from the powers that be. It was that Raven was put in. And not only was Raven put in, Raven was put in and then she went off. She went off and just started her little rant. I'm shocked she didn't throw a glass. Oh, I'm sorry, Internet. Are we still defending her throwing a glass, swinging a glass at someone because someone threw a drink at her? So we're going to defend this terrible behavior that we would have just absolutely destroyed anybody else for? Oh, I'm sorry. We're not past that yet. I hate her.
She's very quickly become a massive villain in my eyes as well. I'm curious if other people are like as annoyed by this. She acts like online that she has like this, everybody's like, yeah, good for you. I could see her deleting comments and stuff. I not that I've seen her do it, but I could see her doing that. If just to be clear, the shit she said about Michelle, I'm not a fan. And then what's going to happen later in this episode as well, I just want her out. I want her gone. And I don't want her gone like because she's a good competitor. I don't think she's good at this. She's just fucking annoying.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. It's nothing other than the fact that it's one of these people who are just they've overblown what they've done. No one cares how many fucking dailies you've won. They care if you win the fucking show. Okay?
Yep. Michelle said that. Preach.
I just don't care how many dailies you win. Win the fucking show and then do it regularly. Get close to the final regularly. Be in it regularly. That's what I want. Play a great game. Sit there. Take your fucking lumps and do it.
Take your lumps? What lumps is she taking?
Isn't that the whole thing?
What is taking a lump? What is that a saying? Are we back? I'm like picturing you like throwing cottage cheese at her. Like, take your lumps, bitch. Eat your goddamn lumps.
Take your lumps.
It's just where. Okay, we gotta get to the root of this problem. Are we? Is it an age thing between us? Is it like a locational issue?
It's a saying. It's a saying. I've just confirmed it. He took his lumps as a kid growing up in the city. It's a saying. I'm vindicated once again.
What is the origin of taking lumps? What are the lumps? Now we got to get into what the lumps are. I'm picturing cottage cheese.
What are you talking about? Cottage cheese? No, it's like you're being criticized. You're being beaten as a punishment. Like, you got to take your lumps. You got to take the hits. You got to take the bad stuff.
Why are they lumps, though? Lumps of what? I've never in my life heard lumps. Why are we taking lumps?
Because that's what it is. I don't know how to explain it.
Eat your fruits and vegetables and your lumps.
No, it's not that at all. What are you talking about?
What are the lumps made out of?
They don't need to be made out of anything. Okay. They're made out of bread dough. Is that better?
So it's like dumplings? I'll take my dumplings.
Oh, God.
Why are they called lumps? I don't understand. I don't get it.
I was on a great rant. I got just pulled off course.
I'm wheelbarrow, you know?
Yeah, you were wrong on that one, weren't you?
The lumps is killing me.
Take your lovely lady lumps.
Why?
As Fergie said. In the back and in the front. Her lovely lady lumps.
I don't understand. Okay, those lumps sound good.
Every week. Every week. It's something every week.
I'm sorry.
Undefeated this podcast is.
I know we have way too much to discuss, but the lumps thing really threw me for a loop. I heard it, and it took me a second to realize what you said. Lumps. What the fuck?
It's just what we do.
Oh, that was good.
I need TJ to weigh in to let everybody know how they're feeling about this podcast right now. TJ, what do you think people are feeling like, and what's going to be going on for the rest of this episode?
Someone's getting wet.
Somebody is getting wet, TJ.
From my lumps?
Yeah, from the lumps. From these conversations. TJ said it.
Someone's getting wet.
Yeah, someone is getting wet, TJ.
That's hot, TJ. That's fucking hot.
That's what's happening. TJ knew what he needed to say to get some extra airtime. He just needed to say people were getting wet.
Someone's
right?
getting wet.
Yes, again, TJ, people are getting wet by listening to us. That's exactly what it is. That's actually a cameo that we were requested from TJ. We're like, hey,
just stand by a waterfall and scream, "Someone's getting wet."
That's exactly what my message to him was.
Someone's getting wet.
I'm gonna take my lumps.
Someone is, again, TJ, we got it. You don't have to say it anymore. We know that someone's getting wet. I know someone's getting wet, TJ. Okay, you can stop. Right,
you know what?
TJ.
Someone is getting wet because it's an ABC party.
Woo!
Let's go. The best, in my opinion, theme party that you can have. ABC party.
Let's go. ABC party, baby. ABC party, baby.
Baby? Have you ever been?
No, I've never done an ABC party. Listen, that's not what Steve is signing up for.
Oh.
No. I'd like to attend if I could be like a judge and like wear regular clothing.
Oh, that's not how that works.
I know. I know it's not.
You have to. You can't wear clothes. That's literally the theme.
I'm aware of the theme. I watched Temptation Island. I know that's a theme.
You're not gonna tell me.
I love this. This was more of what I want every week on this show. It was like, oh, the number one is probably sad that All-Star Shore is not here to fill this void for us. Hey-o. And so we need to do that.
Someone's getting wet.
Where were you, Teej? Where were you, my guy? Oh, Christ. That was good. All right. So I want you, I'm going to tell you who my winner was. We could sit here and do like a whole smash or pass on and rating the fits. We just don't have time for that. Yeah, obviously. Everyone was a smash. Everyone other than one person.
Yeah.
Make your own conclusions.
And that's based on a lot of things.
Was a smash. Except for one person, not a smash. One person there. But specifically for me, my favorite fit was Colleen. Colleen was my winner.
That's a good choice.
Everybody else was like wearing pasties with other things. And Colleen goes, no, just give me the tape. I'm just going to X them out. I'm going to X out the titties. And then on top of it, where my nip would be, I'm going to put little bows, like little ribbon bows that you'd get on a Christmas present. And to me, that was my Christmas present. I was like, God damn it, Colleen. Let's fucking go. Love it.
She truly is the gift that keeps on giving. We love Colleen.
God, we love her.
Michelle gave us a classic using the garbage bags. I've been there. I've done that. I just wanted to give her a shout out because we love her and she deserves it. And I'm sure everybody right now hates her because of this next episode, but we're just not going to talk about that right now. We're not
going to talk about it. It's insane, but we're not going to talk about it.
I almost gave it to Michelle just because she killed a classic, but I am so proud and happy to give my award for best dress and this week's Ass of the Week to Ed with his bare ass hanging out of a bag. We love you, Ed. You deserve this.
Ed, Ass of the Week!
Ass of the Week! Ass of the Week! Ass of the Week!
Didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming.
Didn't see it coming. He cut a hole out of the back of the bag just so his ass would hang out. What do you mean you didn't see it coming?
Nixie, I'm just saying the beginning of the episode, if you tell me to rank who's going to get Ass of the Week, Ed's not probably in the top 10, okay?
Listen, he's a fan of the podcast. We know it because we're fans of Ed. And I think that he knew that he wanted to get an Ass of the Week. I mean, Olivia was there. We had her accept an award for Ass of the Week last season that she was on. She knew what I was looking for. I think she told Ed and was like, hey, you deserve this. Show them what you're made of. And here we are.
I'm so glad Olivia told Ed then. I'm glad that friendship is budding because of the number one. And I'm here for it. I'm here for more people taking risks, and being like, how can I get Ass of the Week? Where are my opportunities? I don't want to make it blatant and obvious that I'm like a try hard for it, right? I don't want to be that person, but I just want to like maybe start with the bitch pleases and then like gain favoritism and then boom, move in with an Ass of the Week.
I mean, he nailed it. It's exactly everything we needed. The buildup was there. He executed perfection. It was this part of the episode was really nice. There was so much ass. I had Olivia's side ass. Narice's entire boobs were just out. There was so much blurring that they had to do in this episode.
They had to hire some blur guys who specialize in blurring. They had like budget on blur, Just hey, what are you up to? Yeah, can you come down to B&M headquarters? Oh God, we had an ABC party. I have so much blurring. There's so much. Why did they do that? I don't know, but they did. So like, I got nips everywhere. There's just nips coming out of nips.
There was no drone shots this episode, so I think that they were able to save on the drone shots and hire an extra person to help with the blur.
That makes a lot of sense. Again, Olivia defining the laws of physics. She got no blur.
Where are her nipples?
I thought that whole thing was see-through. It's very clear that she's been correct when she told us she has clear nipples.
Yeah.
She said that to us. I now believe it more than ever that she has clear nipples. That's absolutely stunning performance. The thing that was surprising me, like, I know Zaza's fit, but then you see her in that outfit,
It's
and then
insane.
just to see, like, her stomach and her abs were like, I'm like, was that chiseled? Like, that seemed drawn on. That was how fake it looked, but it wasn't.
She is so crazy fit. It's insane. I mean,
Unbelievable.
I want her to make it to this final. I'm a little concerned for her. I think people are really starting to see how good she is.
Yeah.
And that they need to send her down. But as of current, she is still riding high. And she looks great doing it.
I will say, speaking of Zaza, Horacio, while he hasn't delivered a lot of great moments this season so far, as a matter of fact, he's done the opposite of that. He decided to reinvent the game this week. He was like, I'm falling out of favoritism with the number one. They loved me last year. Next week's going to be a brutal episode for me. Let me get in some light work now. Let me get in just a light, quick workout with the number one. See if I can gain some favoritism for later, which is honestly a strong game move as far as I'm concerned.
It is.
He said Zaza's name. Now, people would go, oh, he called her Zaza. No. He didn't call her Zaza.
No.
He didn't call her Zara, as a matter of fact, what her real name is. He's like, I know everybody's calling her Zaza. I'm just going to call her Za.
Yep.
He just went with the Za. This almost, I stress, this almost made up for the fact that I had to watch him and Nerys on a horrific dating experience on this television program, on this episode, that we might not talk about.
I don't want to.
It is now confirmed. We will not be talking about it because we do not want to put you guys through that. And how could you not talk about it? Because you know what we would say, and I don't want to deal with that right now.
I just wrote down, I do not give a flying fuck about Nerys and Horacio's storyline. I don't even have any notes other than that. I couldn't tell you. I don't care. I don't care. I'm sorry. Are they two of the hottest people that I've seen on reality TV?
Sure.
You betcha. But guess what? There's zero personality there, and I don't care about their conversations. I don't care.
Also, are we supposed to be surprised that two incredibly hot people find each other hot and want to date? Oh my God. Oh my God. What a rags to riches story this is.
Oh no. Is he going to go shoot another show because he's hot and athletic? What are we going to do about it?
Oh God, I'm going to be so sad. 8 months. She's like, I don't know if I could do 8 months, which was basically to me, it was not like, oh my God, he's going to be away for 8 months. I'll miss him so much. It seemed more than me that she was saying, look at me. You think I can be single and not have you for 8 months?
Yeah.
No, sir.
Yep.
Look at me.
I got the same vibe from that. Yeah, no, we're skipping that whole thing. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
I want to touch on Berta Bertha. God damn it, Berta Bertha.
Damn it, Berta.
She's so delusional. She has this conversation with Emmanuel, who's trying to be very serious, has a blown up middle finger stuck to his forehead.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Amazing moment. Incredible.
Giving all-star sure. Love it. She's just never going to get what she wants out of these conversations. I don't even think there is a correct answer in her brain. Like, she's Delulu. She just wants to complain. There's no one that could possibly give her, any sort of anything from this. And then on top of it, she just fucking cockblocks everybody.
Listen. We're going to play 2 games right now revolving around Berta Bertha, okay?
All the above. I've learned.
That's not an option this time. That's going to be too easy. Also, let me just state for the record, I don't know how I have a voice right now.
I'm also sick. We are sick.
If you're watching on YouTube, I'm wearing a Michigan shirt. Go Blue. I was at the Rose Bowl yesterday cheering on the Michigan Wolverines, where my granddad went to college. I have no idea how I have a voice currently because I was yelling my face off. Now, did I also try not to yell as hard as possible to protect my voice for you guys? so we could record an episode for you. Maybe I did that. I'm not going to say that I did that.
That's a good guy right there. That's a good guy.
Yeah,
good guy.
It's just being the best of the game. You know, you got to do that sometimes.
I need your Berna Bertha insight right
Okay,
now.
here's the Berna Bertha game. Number 1, is Berna Bertha aggressive, or is it just people telling us that she's aggressive? Because that was the comment that she asked. It was, I'm not aggressive. It's just people saying that I'm aggressive. And I was like, that seems aggressive. You just saying that seems a little aggressive, Berna Bertha.
There's no answer to these statements she's making. Like, there's just nothing.
It's not that I am aggressive. It is that people are saying that I am aggressive. That sounds aggressive.
If you're not aggressive, why do you care?
That's a good point, too. That's a really good follow-up. Okay, the second game
So funny.
is called Berna Bertha, Cock Block, or Good Friend. Now, Mixie, I need you to pay attention. Anybody who wants to play this game, please pull over. Please stop your workout. Pull over to the side of the road. Get a pen and paper out because I got to go through the rules of what Berna Bertha, Cock Block, or Good Friend is. Lots of rules.
Okay.
Very hard. Please make sure you are listening very carefully. These are complex rules like one of Mr. TJ's dailies. Okay?
I'm here.
I will ask you, is Berna Bertha a cock block or a good friend? That is the rule.
Okay,
you need
got
to
it.
give me one of the answers of that.
Okay.
Okay. Is Berna Bertha a cock block or is Berna Bertha a good friend? Mixie, you have the floor.
Are you going to give me a scenario or
Nope,
or is
that's
this
it.
just overarching?
That's it.
Berna Bertha is a cock block, and this is why.
No.
It is not her job. Emmanuel is, if he's going to be a little whore, he can go be a little whore. In my opinion, she should have good friended a long time ago. Obviously, Raven knows that he has a girlfriend. Now it is out in the open that he has a girlfriend. She says to him, he has a girlfriend. He's not doing this. And she's like, okay, whatever. Emmanuel clearly no longer gives a fuck about this girlfriend. So if she's
Noted.
being a good friend, then wouldn't that be allowing Emmanuel to explore other options that could potentially be better for him?
That's a very good follow-up that I don't know if I have an answer to. I say Berna Bertha is trying to be a good friend.
To who? Horacio and Nerys?
To Emmanuel.
Yes, that one's fine. That's why I thought you were giving me a scenario. That one,
Oh,
I
no.
could see the argument. I still stand by what I said, but I could see the argument. The
I'm saying
Horacio
good friend for
Nerys thing.
Emmanuel. Nerys and listen, if she's probably heard this every night for 6 weeks at this point, and she's just like trying. It's like just there's enough people who have left. Go to another fucking room at this point, please. Go do it on the couch. Sleep on the couch together. These are tiny beds. I don't want to hear y'all making out all night.
Yeah,
and honestly, that's how I would probably feel at some point. Like, you've been doing this all day. Just fucking go to sleep. Just go to sleep. If you want to keep making out, go fucking do it in the living room. Don't do it where we're all trying to sleep here.
I don't blame her for being like, get out. It is a shared space. I think if she, and maybe she did make, a statement ahead of time being like, if you're going to hook up, it needs to not be in here. And I could see Nerys just being like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I'm hot. I don't have to play by the rules of anything. I make out where I want to make out.
Yeah. I will state that if Berta Bertha was getting some, I don't think that she would care.
All right. You're probably 100% correct on that.
Just from, again, the Delulu that is Berta Bertha, which, again, I love her.
Great.
She's batshit, and it's
Love
a
it.
great time. But if she was getting some dick, I don't think that she would view them getting dick as a problem.
I think she was trying to stop Raven and Emmanuel because she's like, he has a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
And honestly, again, this is more like where I get confused in a lot of these situations. Like, I feel like if Raven knew he had a girlfriend, like,
She doesn't care.
this is the point. It's always like, oh, these cheating guys are assholes. I'm like, he's got a girlfriend. What are you doing?
I agree.
Like, just be like, no, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I want to make out with you. You're interesting. You're hot. Like, whatever. But you got a girlfriend. I'm not going to be that girl. It's being recorded on television.
Yeah, I mean,
You also were with 2 other girls in this house. So it's not like you have some sort of deep feelings for me.
I not to defend Raven. It's not her job to help Emmanuel be faithful to his girlfriend. He's either going to be faithful or he's not going to be faithful.
It's like the James and Mariah situation where he's like, hey, that's not my problem if she wants to do that. I get that, but I always feel like the ladies are like, oh, he's just another cheating guy. Why won't guys stop cheating? Well, because there are girls who will continue to do that.
I don't disagree that there are girls that'll like go after guys that have a girlfriend just to like cause a problem. This is not that situation in my opinion.
Got it.
Especially because didn't he get sucked off by Olivia and like fucked Colleen a few times? Like,
we don't know exactly what happened with him and Olivia, but I wouldn't.
Didn't Nerys slut shame her all over Twitter?
I think that's what she said happened, and I'll take Nerys at face value, considering where I think her feelings towards Olivia are, and that could have been a absolute like a well-defined shot.
We have footage of him all over Olivia. We have footage of him all over Raven, and Colleen said that they hooked up multiple times. So
yeah. And he's trying to keep all these separate, like all these other girls. That's the other thing. Like,
you're on television.
If I knew, and again, it's going to be hard for me to put myself in this scenario here, but if I'm one of these other girls and he's like giving these other girls attention, and then one of the other girls is like, oh, well, I'm stopping because I found out you have somebody at home. Like, all the other girls are just still in. Like, I'm never going to pretend like I know what's going on in your guys' brain. I just have to pretend like it never makes logical sense to me. So I'll just say that. One of the other things I wanted to talk about that I moved over real quick was that when Raven got back to the house, she was very upset after the daily. She went back to the house, and then I think she was talking to Corey and somebody else, and she's like, I didn't vote any of y'all names. And then Jay goes, well, except for Corey. And she's like, yeah, well, that's not the point.
Yeah,
that's not the point.
Of
and I'm
course
like,
it's not the point.
Of course it's not the point. Of course it's not the point. I got up, Nixie, and I hugged the television. I paused it on Jay's face, and I hugged the television because that's how much I appreciated him in the moment. Like, he's done that twice now. He did that with her, and then he did that, like, when it was like Horacio and Kylan, and he's like, well, I mean, he's hanging out with her all the time, and the girls are like, where they at? He's just being a straight shooter with it.
I love it.
Fucking love it.
It is great.
Except for Coy. Yeah. Well, that's not the point. Please don't blow up my story here, because obviously everything I say is just not totally in my favor here.
Yeah. There was a point that I wanted to hit real quick. Mariah goes on a bit of a rant saying that Horacio is only safe because of Olivia and Nerys. That really grinds my gears a bit, because she was the only one campaigning to save James. James didn't even want to save James.
Again, I'm not going to pretend to know what goes on in your guys' brains when you like somebody. It baffles me to no end. All the logic goes out the window. Like, what are you saying? What are you saying? What's going on?
Michelle's gut is telling her that Laurel is coming. Her gut's name is Production.
You think? You think they said Laurel's the next girl?
Absolutely. They were like, Laurel's coming. I don't know if they said that time, but I'm sure somebody told her Laurel was coming. There is no way that she had that nail on the head like that. There's no way, Steven.
I think this is one of those other things that they plucked from wherever they had it from a few weeks when they're sitting there.
Probably.
And they're trying to figure out what females they would bring back, right? And you just go down the list. There's not too many that could be there. They know who was just on All Stars 4. Oh, what's that? I'm sorry, that's already been shot. And so they know who may or may not have been on that, who may or may not have been on the show for a while. So they have probably a list in their head. And obviously she's thinking, okay, Laurel's going to come back at some point. Which, again, like, don't ruin it there, but whatever.
How does she know that that's the week, though? I'm sure she was sitting there and somebody that she's tight with in production, she was like, Laurel's going to come, right? And they're like, And then like by week 3, she's like, Laurel's coming next week, aren't they? And they're like,
I mean, if she did, how would you feel about that? That's
Yeah.
how they get those questions, right? It's like, okay, well,
they told her. I would put money that they told her. I would. They wanted her to have a Michelle down. She hadn't had one yet.
yeah, and they almost got one. They almost got one. They showed
Got a
up.
bit of one.
Yeah,
She was scared shitless.
I mean,
Can we get into that?
if you're not,
Thank you.
you're insane.
And also, like, everybody on Twitter and all this stuff is like, oh, look how scared she is. She's such a scared little bit. Oh, blah, blah. But if she had acted all big and mighty and been like, yeah, I'll take Laurel, they would have been like, she doesn't respect her. How dare you talk to a champion like that?
What do these people have to do to not get shit on? And the answer is they can't do anything, right? There's like a handful of people on the show who do not get shit on. Everybody else will get absolutely shit on as if it's a fucking fetish for these people. And it's just like, just leave them alone. My art, like, it's honestly infuriating that these people who are here to provide entertainment for us have to deal with some of this fucking nonsense.
Yep.
Like, obviously we do some of this, but this is all in good fun, boys and girls. But like, most of the stuff y'all are doing ain't in good fun. It's like pure vitriol. And what have they done to you? They've done nothing to you personally to get this type of reaction. And it surprises me every single fucking time. You're 100% right. She's not supposed to respect Laurel? Fucking Laurel? And again, this conversation is very different if they gave Laurel a real fucking elimination. If they gave her a real elimination, this wouldn't have been a thing.
We gotta get into it at this point. I will say,
can't. They gave her some sort of preschool fucking exercise.
very quick moment here. Zara self-nominates. I don't understand why. I honestly think that she knew she was going to get voted in, and she was just like, I'm just going to beat him to it and put myself in. But I did want to touch on that really quick. She took way too much pre-workout.
See who's going to say your name.
I mean, we say this all the time. I think so too. She kind of gave everybody a golden ticket out of having to say her name, and she could have had a list of people.
I think Wes said that because in her interview she was like, I wonder what Wes thinks about that. She said that on her Instagram, and then Wes responded by saying, yeah, I respect the move, but you should have made people say your name so you can make a list of where everybody's at and see who's voting with each other. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So. Let's get into it. Laurel comes out. Woohoo, it's Laurel. Michelle shits a brick. Honestly, I thought it was funny how she was like shoving her hands in her pockets and being like, I really think we can maybe get through this. Like, I thought she handled it like respectfully. She's scared of Laurel, obviously, but like she respected her. She tried to make a joke about it. Like, I think that she 10 out of 10 handled that situation.
Mixie, it made me feel. First of all, she didn't even refer to her by name, which is just a fucking alpha move if I've ever heard one. She got purple jacket, and she's like, "Hey, Laurel, hey, Laurel, I'm watching out for your friends in here. I'm watching out for your friends. I think one day we could be friends." It gave kid talking to his or her bully in like middle school vibes, right? Like, hey, you know. Maybe I get you for like the lunch money tomorrow because you know it's nacho day today and I really want nachos. You know, like maybe we could do this tomorrow. Like I gotta go to church later and I don't want to have a black eye at church. So can we do this like maybe on Friday? You can beat me up. And Laurel's like, whatever. Mm-hmm. Now was that shifted in time? It was definitely shifted in time. It was not at that point because then Laurel's looking sideways and not to the front, which it would have been. But that's neither here nor there. Just her trailer was great. Free Agents. I feel like I want to go back and watch Free Agents with the absolute zero free time I have. Man, I love Laurel. God damn it! Again, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
And I just
it is about this until they have her pull a singular chain and then put colored pegs in a board. Why? This is gonna ring true for episode 12. Why are these the eliminations you are giving these people?
It's so frustrating.
Because now delusional motherfuckers like Raven think they actually did something.
Well, Corey's just trying to gas her up on the way home. You know, she's only lost to 3 people, and you're one of them. Like, she didn't know. That was a bullshit elimination. Like, strap her to something and have them, like, pull each other in the sand. How did Big T get the only, like, non-physical, like, she got the physical one.
Yep.
Greaseback Bun Babe versus
With
Big
Greaseback
T
Bun Babe, yeah.
was a pole wrestle. And then you bring Laurel in, and you bring Cara in, and you give her a puzzle too?
Yeah, with heavy blocks. They aren't even interacting with each other. Cara still figures out a way to fucking fuck with her. Hilarious. But, like, come on. What are we doing? I truly do think that they couldn't have them lose more money. They can't lose more money.
Why not?
Because then the prize pot is just not worth it.
But again, these eliminations have already been set out. Like, they have to build all this stuff. This was, like, decided before they got there, I think, what things they're doing. I just don't know who's running the ship, who goes, this is the format we want to go with. We want to, bring back all of our fucking champions and do this. So, I have come to the conclusion that not for money, but for, I'm air quoting, the strength of the show going forward, that we need some of these people who are new to beat some of our classic people that you love. Because what happens is, they're not as good as the old people. The old people would fucking boat race them in anything. Yeah. And so they have to give them these where they would actually have a chance to be like, well, Raven beat Laurel, and then but here's the thing, it backfires, because me and you are sitting here going like, sure, statistically, like this week the Cardinals beat the Eagles, and I'm sitting here, like in football, they're not even close to the same team, but technically they won. One team's going to be in the playoffs and might go to the Super Bowl. Another team's like picking third in the draft. I'm supposed to believe they're equal? Yeah. No, like every once in a while something like that and it happened. But like, I'm just frustrated that somebody thought this was a good idea. So that to me again makes me think it's only like, well, we have to kind of like, this whole season's like getting a new champion. We have to use a wrestling term, put people over. We need to put people over in front of the crowd, so they go, oh, this person's actually good. But the OGs, the real ones, the number one, sniffs that out a mile away. I don't like it.
I mean, on top of it, just it wasn't a good thing for Laurel. It also, that is one of the eliminations where the peanut gallery can really help. And I'm never opposed to, we've talked about this in the past, I think it's fair to have, if you have good social game and you have a good alliance or whatever, to have people up there helping you out. That's just an extension of the work you did in the house. In this situation, it's not fair because Laurel's coming in and competing against the person in the stand as well as taking money from everyone up there. Yeah. So obviously everyone up there is gonna help Raven. And in my opinion, I don't think Raven would have gotten to where she was and won that quickly without the help of everyone up there. They're calling her out. They're like, you said pink. And she's like, oh, you're right. And changing it. Like, I think that it would have been a lot more of a fair fight, if not Laurel winning, if they were unable to speak. And I get why they're not unable to speak. But in this type of a situation, it seems unfair to me that they can help. Because it's everybody versus Laurel.
Right, but that goes back to them deciding that this is the correct elimination for this.
Yes, totally.
You're going to create movie trailers for your quote-unquote superheroes of the show, and then you're not going to let them be what we know them to be. Yep. They don't even touch each other in the fucking sand, as a matter of fact. They're, like, separated. So you're just playing parlor games to win. And yes, have we had these in the past? Great. But if that's the reason that we're bringing people in, again, it makes me realize that production, at a certain point, we thought they need the people to lose because they need a certain number of people out to do these dailies and stuff. Now it seems like they kind of want these people to win.
Yep.
Because if you wanted them to lose, you would not give Laurel that. You
Yep.
would not give Cara that.
Yep.
We all know how weak she is at those. So, again, this to me was just like, we don't fucking care if they lose. It's actually better for the show in the long term if that happens, which makes it incredibly frustrating when somebody like Raven wins and then basically fucking jerks off thinking that she beat Laurel, which technically she did, but you beat her in that. Like,
there's so many asterisks on that win for me.
Come on. You know, it just, I don't know. I'm going to say the same thing in kind of the next episode. It's kind of the same logic idea. Like, Cara returns, quote unquote, right? And that's what you give her when you know that's not really a strength of hers.
And you also know all of these people have been waiting to see her in this show doing what she does best. And you're going to give her blocks with puzzle pieces on it.
Yeah, it's like a CrossFit workout for her, but that would work if that was the only point of the elimination, right? Like, have them do something with each other, right?
I mean, we talked about it like what, 2-3 episodes ago. They should just be doing their classic, what they're known for things. We walk out, we see CT, it's going to be a hall brawl. We walk out, we see Laurel, we know it's going to be them chained together, or Cara, and we know they're doing that chain thing that she did. Like
anything, right? Anything that they're known for, you show the clips, and then they do that. Again, another reason we need to be working for the show. Just hire us for consultant. That you don't have to pay us full time. We'll be here for consultants. I kind of felt like this was coming. I think you could, as you said one time, you could tell in the interview. And I felt like Raven was very excited in her interview, and Laurel, there wasn't a lot of interview from Laurel, and I was like, oh, this is going to happen, isn't it?
Yep.
This is going to fucking happen. And then as soon as Laurel got frustrated, I was like, nah, she's out.
Yep.
She's entirely out. But she mismanaged that elimination, if we're going to talk about like the logistics of it. She mismanaged it pretty poorly, just putting it all in a thing. Raven tried to start lining it up, but it is what it is.
I was rooting heavy for Laurel at this. It was a tough L for me to take personally.
I was like, yes. I was like, when she pulled Raven's name, I was like, fucking barrier.
Yep.
Barrier.
Yep. Bad. I wanted it bad.
And we didn't get it.
We still didn't get it. We still didn't get it in episode 12. A Legend Returns.
Woo! TJ just needs to remind us what's going to happen here.
Someone's getting wet.
You're going to get wet.
I can't wait.
We're on the way home. And at this point, you know, maybe we have an hour left. Maybe there's an interview left.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Ooh.
What?
We'll have to see.
The big mid-show tease, boys and girls. The big mid-show tease. Who knows? I got to keep you holding out. But we're going to start with a fun, interactive game. Me and Mix are both going to play a game, and we need the hotties to vote on the winner, okay?
Exciting.
So if you're a hotties member, you get a lot of stuff coming for you this week. You get to play Is Burna Birth her cock blocker good friend as well, right? You get to play that.
Yeah.
You might get some special audio from the number one as well. And then you get to rate who does the better James. Okay?
Oh, we're going to do a better James?
We are going to do a better James.
Are we talking about the very first thing he said when this show opened?
Yes.
What did he say?
Beautiful. I immediately wrote down, get Mixie to say this.
I don't even know what he said, though. I wrote down, what the fuck did he just say?
I'm going to play the audio. I will play it one time.
Okay, I'm in. I'm locked in.
Before you try to give your version, you're allowed to ask for it one more time.
Okay.
So we both get one general, and then we get one follow-up before we perform. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so here's the audio in question. This is James saying whatever James says. All right, here we go.
Still got 366,000 in the prize pot, which is fantastic.
Okay. All right.
You go first.
You want me to go first? All right, I'm gonna play it one more time to make sure I have exactly what James says.
Still got 366,000 in the prize pot, which is fantastic.
Here we go. We have 366,000 in the prize pot, which is fantastic.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I get one more listen, right?
You get one more listen because obviously mine was so close that technically you're getting an extra. But okay.
Okay.
Here you go.
Still got 366,000 in the prize pot, which is fantastic.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We still got 366,000 in the prize pot, which is fantastic.
Oh, I don't know how anybody's gonna pick. I don't know how anybody's gonna pick.
I just felt all the blood rush to my head and then leave.
How can anybody decide?
Oh my god, I'm so glad that we played this game because I was like, what the fuck did he just say?
That was great. That's my guy. That's my guy.
James and the giant dick. I love him.
Oh, God. James was like public enemy number one. Now he's kind of like disappeared, right? Like
He's just
like,
fucking...
whatever.
It's funny.
Also, I'm just going to say it. Emmanuel is just floating. Him and Ed are so under the radar. It is absolutely fantastic.
I don't understand it.
Remember,
I really
like,
don't.
Week 1 or week 2, we were like, "Oh, Emmanuel's the only one not in alliance. He's definitely getting sent home immediately." We're on week 12 and he's not home yet.
He hasn't touched the sand. No. Oh no, did he? I think he did. I know Ed never did, but I'm pretty sure Emmanuel went down with Corey, and then Devin called out Callum.
Oh, you're right. That very well possibly happened, but he's still not gone yet.
Yeah, no, he hasn't. I mean, he hasn't actually done anything. Yeah. Oh, God, so funny. You know what else is funny? We got a random Nerese Alliance graphic. Yay!
No, I don't want it. But I don't want it.
Come on, it's so helpful.
I don't want it.
What is wrong with you? How could you not want that?
What was the most surprising thing on that graphic to you?
The not amount of people. I thought that the whole house was just going to be on the graphic.
I feel like there was more people in your alliance last time you had an alliance. The most surprising thing to me in that graphic was that they were showing that Olivia was definitely in the alliance, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because this whole time we're like, well, where does this go south? And this is where this starts to build.
Allegedly. I still...
Go ahead. I know what your thought is. Go ahead.
All right. Nerese goes and sits and talks to, is it her mom and her brother?
Yeah.
Her brother, who the fuck is this man, says that Olivia is talking shit and saying that Nerese is poor and that Olivia's going to use her. Yeah,
to like, she's using her friendship or something like that, that she's the only reason. It didn't. I need the full conversation. I need that full conversation.
This made no sense. It came out of nowhere. Who is she talking to and saying that Nerese is poor? And why did it come out episode 12 that that's the case?
I want to know, how is he just now finding out about this? Olivia's there.
Yeah.
So where did this alleged information come from? Is it like credible information, right? Mm-hmm. Is it somebody going to him and being like, yo, I need to let you know what's really going on with Olivia? And then he doesn't vet anything and just tells her about it, which seems way more plausible than anything else at this point. Because don't these people get like routine phone calls home? And just now she's hearing about this. I need a timeline, as always.
We love a timeline. This doesn't make any sense.
What is she referencing?
Also, this whole thing of Nerese being poor. One, what? And two, the whole point of going on this show is to make money. So...
Again, if you weren't concerned about this, it wouldn't matter, right? Like, nothing makes sense. And what I would have liked to seen, which I don't think will happen, right, is Nerys going, hey, I just had an interesting conversation with my brother.
Yeah.
He told me X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
What is this about? Because if that happened, I can very clearly see her being upset, but I'd also be like, no, I feel we're good. Like, what the fuck is this about? Where did this come from? And then she'd be like, oh, yeah, that's not at all what I said.
Yeah.
Some sort of a game of telephone. And now you're like casting somebody out because of something totally like not even, which is obviously what probably happens on all this. I think me and you were talking before this. You were like, if this is what caused this whole thing to go south, this is insane.
I think that this whole episode is a lot of talking to other people and not talking to the source. If this boils up, like you're saying with Nerys, that she doesn't talk to Olivia, or we don't see her talk to Olivia, and then all of a sudden this, like, they get in some scream fight. I mean, the same thing is kind of happening, honestly, with Olivia and Horacio. This whole thing, after, this phone call, Olivia and Nerys are talking, and Nerys is defending Horacio, and Olivia is saying she feels like Horacio isn't making time for her, and Nerys is like, it's not that deep, blah, blah, blah. I don't like Nerys, but I have to agree with her on this. It's not that deep, and if you do think it's that deep, then you need to go talk to him. Why is she not talking to him? Or if they did, why are we not seeing it? Why are they building it as if, like, she's this crazy person that's just, like, in her own thoughts about it?
Right.
I don't think that she's jealous. I think that she is just hurt that the person that she went through the first season with is not really talking to her. If that is truly the case, why isn't she going to talk to him?
The interesting thing to me in that whole thing, which I want to see all of it, our good friends at MTV, please send us the entire thing. You can watermark the shit out of it. You can like do whatever you need to do. I just want to see all of it. Was Olivia saying Horacio did not tell her he was coming on the show? Yes. And then he just showed up. And I'd been like, can you imagine that? Like, that to me just shows that's the big thing to me.
I agree. That one hit my ear. I was like, what? He
didn't tell you he was... All these people know. I'm sure she messaged him and was like, yo, are you doing this? I'm going. Yeah. And either he goes, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it again, or he says no, and then shows up. I'd been like, bro, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then you're having your thing with Nerys, which I get, but then the version of me... Olivia from last year is now Zaza, who is not part of our group
at all.
So I would go, what the fuck did I do here, bro? That I'm on the outside of this. Yeah. Like, I didn't fucking do anything. You seem to be different. None of this is making sense.
It's very weird. And again, I still stand by, if she just went and talked to him, he could be, because I do think he's just a quiet guy. But still, they hit her just not sending a text. And like, when we talked to her, she said that they talked. They're friends. They still chat. Yeah, like, what?
It's something is
at that point. It was less than a year from Ride or Die. So
yeah, it none of it's making sense. Something is really off. Don't want to specifically, like, I want to do like 80-20 blame is on Horacio versus Olivia here, because as you said, I think she could just go handle that. But I think she's also like, I get it if I've done something, but like, I don't think I've done fucking anything, and you've just like replaced me, and I feel like I'm being used here, and like that our friendship was fake, and that nothing we went through last year is anything. And I kind of feel like I'm playing a bit of an imposter syndrome because I haven't won a daily. I think she knows all these people who were supporting her last year after her thing are looking at her to be the next great competitor of the show. And I think she's just feeling the pressure of like, like I don't think I'm living up to expectations here. And that's all wrapped up in it.
I agree with you. We'll see.
If this is what really caused the rift, is that fucking Nerys's brother found something, or somebody slid into his DMs and was calling out Olivia, and that's how this snowballs. This is fucking bullshit. And
I agree.
That's there would be no coming back for me if that's how I lost a friendship is over something like that. I'd be like, yo, again, same thing as you just said. Come to me.
Yep. I mean, I will be eyes locked on Twitter when this episode goes live because I know Nerisse isn't gonna be able to bite her tongue. And I think she's going to start going off. And Mariah also is going to be saying some stupid shit. This is my guess. We are recording prior to that. So if I'm right, I will be right. We can talk about it next episode. But I'm really hoping that there's something more to this situation and not just this DM or this random thing.
Here's the thing. I don't think it is at this point. I don't think it's anything more than this. I think
deeper,
this was
I don't think they're
seedling
gonna
of
show
the
us.
idea, and then she watered her own plan, and just was like, yeah, she probably did that, and now she's reading everything in. There's going to be one vote that doesn't go Nerissa's way, maybe, and she's just going to be like, and then Mariah's going to feed in on it too, right?
Olivia's probably going to vote for Kylan, and then it's going to be an absolute cluster. I will be very annoyed if that is the case. I want to get into the daily if you're down.
I like this. I liked it a lot.
Best daily of the season.
I liked it a lot.
I will say once again, I still feel like the teams that are like sitting on the sides, if we get them like water guns or something to involve everybody, I would have liked. But outside of that,
tomatoes.
I really, really liked this a lot. Oh yeah, it's like some kind of
tomatoes. 1 year,
so it's harder to see.
Tomatoes.
Yeah,
I like that.
It would have been nice to involve the other teams, but it is what it is. I did like it. The funniest part to me was the beginning of this when they go to interview Michelle, Mariah, James, and Kylan, and it is all hell breaks loose.
This was my favorite part of maybe both episodes, honestly.
Hilarious. Michelle is like, your production's like, well, how do you feel about the team? Michelle's like, well, I was good and then just fucking.
So these fucking weirdos started saying I was going to throw it. And they're like, well, we didn't say that. She's like, what do you mean? It's exactly what you said.
They clearly said that.
You don't just like make that up.
Well, Kylan was being like very pedantic. He was like, we didn't say.
Shocking.
You know what I mean?
Well, we didn't say it in that verbiage. I used a different adjective, Michelle. I used a different adjective, and Mariah's being like, well, it's just like, of course it's Mariah and Kylan trying to fucking backpedal on what they said.
Yep, I know.
Also, how dumb are these two? How dumb are these two that Michelle, in this style of elimination, could throw it? What's she going to do? Like, grab them and jump off with them?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? How can she throw this? She's just going to lay down and then, like, roll into the fucking water? So it's 4 against 3?
And then, to be honest with you, I still think they would have won at least that first round if she did that. James and Kylan, as stated by other people, are the 2 strongest guys on the show.
They're huge. And then you got Mariah with quads.
Yeah.
Bigger than some people's fucking heads.
Uh-huh.
Who all she does is squat. Have you seen her legs and her ass?
It's ridiculous.
Power team. And then we're like, oh, Michelle's going to throw it.
Michelle's going to throw it.
She's just going to pull people's pants down. She's going to fucking pants them. And then they're going to all try to pull up their pants. And then they all get pushed off. What are you talking about? How do you throw this?
For them to die on this hill at this daily is so funny to me.
Just like that's what you're
that's what
so
we're panicking
paranoid
about.
That you think Michelle is going to figure out a way of throwing this type of
They should have spent that time coming up with a strategy. I kept trying to think of different strategies that I would do with that like swinging wall and stuff. Do you put everybody on one side, let them try to push on you, and then just let go for a second and let everybody just run off the fucking platform? Like,
yeah, you just like step back or something like that and see what happens. Then you give them a little, you go 3, 2, 1, step back. The wall moves and they go, oh, and then you just. Oh God!
But no, let's bitch at Michelle, the smallest person on our team, and pretend like she's gonna throw it when she doesn't know if it's a guys or girls day.
So dumb, So dumb.
Not thought
Yeah, she
through at
throws it and she could end up in the elimination. It just again, just reiterates the fact that these people are so paranoid that they just like make up things in their head. Delusional land here.
I agree with you. You know what sent me into making up situations in my head? Zara was cheeks out pushing on that wall.
Yes.
I am once again beaming with pride to give Zara this week.
Of the week.
Took a page out of Berna Bertha's book.
Oh, she didn't take it. She fucking ripped it right out, Nixie. I knocked them over. I knocked over my blue screen.
Oh no.
Just knocked it right out.
Reset.
I was so excited about it last week. I knocked my blue screen down.
I had to give it to her. I was so proud. I was so excited for her. Do you need a second?
I am struggling.
And I loved that Berna Bertha was on her team as well. So like it was just She was right next to the cheeks. It was hilarious. I said this prior and I'm gonna say it again. Ed is the fucking man. Ed killed it in this fucking elimination or in this daily. I personally feel like he is the reason that their team won.
Ed is just showing up on every episode so far. I getting it. There was just so much about this daily. There's a strategy involved, strength involved. Mm-hmm. The drone guy working extra,
and it looked great.
Incredible shots from that drone, just like following people in and stuff like that.
Yep.
So good. And you know what? Honestly,
Someone's getting wet.
Someone was getting wet. America was getting wet, TJ.
Thank you. That's some good stuff right there.
Very happy that Zaza is getting the recognition that she deserves for Ass of the Week. That Berna Bertha was probably like, I can just hear Berna Bertha going, Zaza, so you just pull up your pants. Look at me. And then like she does it, right? And she's like showing her the ropes.
Stop talking. Look.
Yeah. Stop talking.
Can I say what I want to say?
Stop being aggressive. I am not aggressive. You're aggressive.
You're saying I am aggressive. I am not aggressive.
You're saying I am aggressive. I am not aggressive. Stop saying I am aggressive. This is the last thing I am. If anything knows anything about me, Berta Bertha, it isn't that I am not aggressive. It's that people call me aggressive. It was great.
It was a great daily. But it ended in sadness for me because they could have put Raven in, but they don't. They put Colleen in.
Do you think this was a little bit of, we think everyone will say Raven again?
Yes.
So let's just say Colleen, so we're getting the other
somebody
person
said
in
that.
we
I think
need to, right?
I think Zara said that. Somebody said that, was like, Raven's going to be the house vote. So what are we going to do?
I mean, they're saying it, and then Raven's on the corner, stop playing a pussy game. And I'm like, bitch, please. Bitch, please. Just last week, you were talking to Zaza, right? Mm-hmm. And I have this written down. We didn't talk about it in the last episode. She's there, by the way. One of the best moments of that last episode was that Raven had more than 24 hours to like come up with something to say at that nomination ceremony.
Yeah.
And she went with, I can't believe I'm here. Actually, yeah, I can. Shakespeare over here. And she gives the whole, I'm going to compete, I'm going to come back, and I would hate to be you guys if I come back. I'm going to say everyone's name. I'm going to start saying names. Blah, blah, blah.
I have that here too. You're
As
not
if
do
she
shit.
didn't already go in once and come back and didn't say anybody's name other than Melissa and Big T, because those are the threats to your game at this point, right? Melissa and Big T were the biggest obstacle in your way, and you didn't team up with the people that you could clearly see were at the bottom of the list with and vote against them.
Yep.
To do that, like, I'm not buying anything she's trying to sell here. You won a daily twice, and all you did was throw in Melissa and Big T. Like, What's that about?
I have the same note written down. I said Raven keeps saying she's going to come back and fuck shit up, and she comes back and does absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
She's so fucking annoying.
It's just you've done nothing. Don't. What? How?
Yeah.
How? So stop playing a pussy game. What would be the move? What would be the move? Saying Michelle at this point? That would be the move for them?
Yeah.
Like, how does that service anybody? These things? It doesn't. You by saying that are now showing that you are a strong player.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You just beat Laurel.
Uh-huh. Yeah, she beat her all right.
And you want people to be like, stop playing a pussy game. I would say voting the person in who just beat Laurel would not be a pussy game. Because I now know you're strong. And I've kind of thought about that before. So, yeah, I want you the fuck out.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
Don't see how that's a pussy game. But whatever. We're living in your world, okay? We're living in your fantasy land.
It doesn't make any sense to me at all. I completely agree with it. Honestly, from this point until the elimination was just a bunch of fucking talk about game that I literally wrote down, oh my God, this alliance talk is making me want to deep throat a cactus.
Someone's getting wet.
I actually wrote, there's a lot of game talk here, and I actually didn't mind it. That's what I wrote down. For the first time, I didn't mind it.
I was over it.
I feel like it was setting up the back part of the show that we're about to see
probably
coming, right? And so I kind of need this now because it's all going to happen, right? And I'm going to be like, how did this happen? How did this become so fractured like that? And I think we got enough of the like little building blocks. Jay and Olivia's conversation I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Saying that she was the strong one. She was the social one. That's the one like that. Those were like, that's why they like that group is because they did that.
Yeah.
There was a few good conversations in there. But yeah, it was a lot. It was more than I think in most of them, considering I thought the daily was really good, that's where that went. I feel like these last two episodes have been very, very good episodes.
I agree with you. I mean, I there were parts of it that I enjoyed, like Colleen saying she wanted Mariah in. This is the second episode that she's been vocal about that. Please do something about it, Colleen. I am all for it. We back you. We are here for you. The thing that I really didn't like was Kyland this episode and some of the things he was saying. I feel like he's starting to become a bit of like a supervillain, like a sneaky little supervillain. He was talking about how Colleen was upset and how great that was for him. Basically being like thrilled that she's knocked down so he could get another person on his team. The way that he described it, the way he talked about it, I really didn't like it. Also, the whole thing that he was saying about Michelle. At one point, he says that he wants Michelle in the final not because she's a number or not because he likes her or cares about her, because she's easy to beat. And he thinks the girls that he's riding with could easily beat her. Who is that?
But Zaza's beating anybody.
Exactly.
At this point.
So
if you're anybody, even if you're on Team Zaza, you need to get Zaza out. It's like what we say about Jordan.
I agree.
Like in West, like if they're getting to a final, they're probably winning. You need to get Zaza out. I don't see any obstacle in a final that Zaza would not do well at, other than maybe standing up all night. But she's probably built for that too.
Honestly, she's gonna be fine. I didn't understand that dig at Michelle, and I didn't understand who he was referring to as his girls. Who is that?
It's the pillow that he's fucking, you know?
Yeah, and the laminated photo of Melissa.
Yeah.
I'm just really starting to not like him. And then, this is going to upset you. The Fantastic Four meet again.
I mean,
I think it was Jay was like, nobody can find out about this group and this fantastic. You are all in a bigger alliance together. I do not understand what this is. I don't get it. You're like a tighter knit circle inside of the alliance. Fine. But what is so secretive about that? You're in an alliance that everybody knows you're in. Nobody can find out about this. If people find out about this secret alliance, we're screwed. Why? You're all in an alliance together. People are going to be like, oh, were you talking with Nerys and Michelle and Asaf all by yourself? Yeah, we're in an alliance.
The odd part of this has to be, the odd person out is Nerys. Because she's so closely tied to Horacio.
That doesn't make any sense.
Not part of that group, right? He is definitely Team Kylan in this.
Yeah.
And so if you're Michelle or Jay or Asaf, you have to be worried about where her true alliance is at this point. Because I don't think she's saying Jay and she's saying Asaf 1,000 times before that. So as a matter of fact, Jay or Asaf feels like they're a 2 or a 3. Mm-hmm. And so I think there needs to be, for them, they need to work. And I think Jay's already been doing it. I got to get rid of Horacio because this person who's part of my core team is not going to say me, which fundamentally is not the point of an alliance. Fundamentally, they needed to have a conversation with her and be like, yo, we feel like one of us is going to be your third vote here. If there's 3 guys left, it's one of us, and the guy who's not part of the Fantastic Four is going to be your number 1.
Yeah.
That very, 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 very confusing.
I don't get it.
Let's move to the deliberation here.
Yes. One of my favorite quotes of the season happened at this deliberation.
Let's go next.
Raven does this whole speech. I don't remember it because I do not care at all. And Corey looks her in the face and says, I'm voting for you, Raven, because I'm a pussy. I get why people don't like Corey at times, but this is a 12 out of 10 fucking one-liner. It's amazing.
It's so good because, like, he's truthful, but I also know he's, like, playing her.
Oh, yeah.
He's totally playing her.
Uh-huh.
He's being like, yeah, we're all pussies, right? Because that's what you want to hear.
Uh-huh.
So I'll call myself a pussy.
Yeah.
So that, like, you'll kind of like me. Mm-hmm. And I won't be the first guy on your list of the people who have said your name.
Yep.
Where probably all the other people that you like would want to vote me first. So I'm going to try to do this move, which I appreciate the move. But you're right, because I'm a pussy. And everybody else is, like, just voting left and right, I just...
Well, and then after the deliberation, he like quadruples down on it. And that conversation he's having with Raven, and she's like, oh, well, champions do X, Y, and Z. And he's like, yep, I can't do it. I'm a bitch.
She was just so pissed at the deliberation. She's like, oh, again, if I come back, names are getting said. And I was like, well,
That's what
you said last week, and no names were said. If you were that pissed, you should have been saying names right there. Expose the fucking alliance or something like that. Expose a conversation you had. Like, try to switch it. She didn't, though. She was just like, I got nothing to do. They're going to keep, like, at this point, it's too late, girl. Like, it is what it is. Just be like, good, I fucking thrive off this. Mm-hmm. Do it every time. Yep. Just bring the fucking smoke. Bring the smoke. Because I can't wait to win one of these other dailies that I apparently win all the time that I haven't won in the last 2 weeks. Because maybe I'm not part of it, or I got basic trivia wrong. That I cost my team. I don't know. We had to carry the heavier crate, because I thought Ronaldo was nowhere on Kylie Jenner's level.
Yeah. Russia has more medals. That's the one that really killed me. I don't know why that one stuck out to me. I just, honestly, I feel like a third grader would know that.
They have twice the amount. It's not like, 100. It's like 1,000 difference. All right, let's get to that conversation that she had in the hallway with Corey.
Why? It's infuriating.
Wanted to put my head through a wall. She goes, I don't know the last champ that had a social game that didn't also compete and go to elimination and win and take risks. And I can't stand for that. I'm about good journalism, not about fake facts here.
Yeah, no.
So because we're the number one, I was like, let me just fact check this. Let me just fact check, because it's starting to sound like you think people are just like, yeah, sure, I'll go in and win and come back. Yeah, gladly. I'll fall on the grenade for everyone here. Don't worry about me. I'm so good. I'll just come back. Just did some stuff. The season we just saw, USA 2, Desi went in once and won and came back. Chris didn't want to go in all the times he went in. And he had a terrible social game. That's why he went in a bunch of times. So if you said that have a good social game, he didn't, so we can disqualify him from this conversation. Let's go back one more. Ride or dies. Devin and Tori went in week 1 by Raven, by the way.
Yeah.
Because they picked 4 teams. And then they did not go in again. Then maybe they took a bunch of risks that season. Let me just look quickly. No risks.
I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, they specifically said they wanted to be under the radar.
Yes. We do the least amount of things possible. Let all the chaos go around, and then we just sneak our way through the end.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they specifically didn't win dailies so that they didn't have to make decisions.
One of the best victors, other than Bananas, is CT. And CT is notorious for not taking risks and not going in. I mean...
Yeah.
Ryder, Spies, Lies, and Allies, CT and Casey. She did that final elimination against Babe when they were already in the final.
Yeah, because they came in last and second last, so they had to go against each other.
They had to go in. And I'm pretty sure CT did not go in that season.
I don't think he did.
I think he did go in because that was the season you had to win an elimination in order to get to the final.
Oh.
And was that?
I think
no, that was Double Agents.
Yep.
He voted himself in against a weaker competitor because he's like, I won this week, but I'm going to go in so I get my skull or whatever they were called. So I could actually go to the final. And then Amber B also went in and she won and she went to the final. It's not like people were like, what show are you watching?
She's just making shit up. This is, you know what this reminds me of? This whole thing
just
that
like how you said, she's just making shit up.
That the manager of Arby's talked about. There's a scared game, playing a scared game. It's the same shit. It's the exact same shit, just a different phrase of it. You can't call it a scared game. You can't say people are playing like a pussy when they're being logical.
Yeah. I think somebody in the hottie said maybe that she's like petitioning to be like the assistant manager at Arby's or something like that.
I think she might be, honestly. That's a good point. Assistant to the Arby's manager.
This is so true. You know, people do this all the time, not just in the challenge. Like, you have to create this like narrative in your head that it's not you when it's really you. And you know, you can just say, hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me, you know?
Yeah, if you were a terrible lyricist, you could say something like that, yeah.
What are you talking about?
So we get to the elimination. Mr. TJ looks fantastic. I love that black puffer vest on him. Oh my God. Somebody was getting wet. Population me.
Whoa.
Someone's getting wet.
It was Mix.
You found me. Caught. Guilty as charged.
He's always rocked a good puffer jacket, hasn't he?
It was nice. It was sleek. I think he had a white t-shirt on underneath. It was a good combo.
Great combo. That guy.
Nice.
That guy is the best. Love him so much. We get the return, not return, but return in this version of this current timeline that we're on, our Spider-Verse, multiverse, matrix simulation that we're all living in. Cara Maria returns. We get a great movie trailer for her. We're reminded that she was the first single winner, male female single winner on Vendettas. I think that was the season. And she comes out and she's on it already. She's back in the mood. She's back in the mode. She's feeling it. And I did not see this coming. Where were you? Did you feel like chaos was getting pulled here? Because this was a big rope-a-dope for me as far as I remember the moment. I did not see it coming. I was sure it was going to be Raven, and Raven was getting eliminated based off her conversation. Her ITMs this week, her level, her energy level, and her face was just down. I was like, oh, she loses now. That's why.
I mean, I think they take that from one. She inevitably will lose later in the season. But I don't know. Something about it made me think that it was about time to pull a chaos because we haven't had a chaos since Devin. And this is the last girl, so...
What are you saying, Mixie?
I am just, who knows? She also... There was a point where we saw her kind of spinning it, like she grabbed it and did a bit. I don't know if she did that in other sticks prior, got a little feel of it. I don't know what they allowed and what they didn't allow, but she pulled chaos, and I don't know if she talked to Laurel, but Michelle once again did not get a name. She got orange shirt.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, she didn't get a name.
I didn't think about the idea that Laurel was like, yo, if you pull it, go with her, because her attack was very pointed.
I mean, yeah, she immediately Michelle. Right? I think she asked Michelle, like, I don't even think she directly asked Michelle who should go in. She just kind of like,
she goes, if you could pick, if I pick Chaos, which one of these other girls would you pick? And Michelle did the right thing and said, well, I don't know. I don't know what. And Cara immediately wasn't having any of that.
Yeah.
To which I would say, what Michelle said would be pretty fucking close to what I think Cara would have said.
Really?
Yeah.
This is my...
if her other alliance members were up there next to Cara, I don't think Cara's going that bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna risk blowing up my alliance.
I would have said Mariah.
On the chance that you pull that thing, you got a 33% chance of getting that thing. I'm not definitely blowing up my alliance for that at this point. You know?
Yeah, I would have still said Mariah.
You would have said Mariah?
Easily. She's not really in the alliance anymore.
Well, she's not in the Garbage Pail Kids or whatever.
Yeah. She's not in the Garbage Pail Kids. And
she's not ahead of Olivia.
To rally troops around people in her alliance.
Yeah, but did she really think that was like going to get her put in? I don't think so. In retrospect, obviously. But I feel like she was sent there as an assassin for Michelle. I agree. I was like, why is she picking on her? And she even said like a little bit like, oh, Paulie told me. And I go, there we go.
Okay, I didn't understand that either. What did Michelle do in USA 2 that made her snaky?
Paulie was there for what, 2 weeks?
I don't even know, but it didn't make any sense.
It didn't. That's why I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that it was Paulie. I'm thinking a little bit was Laurel being like, yo, if you get a chance, pick that girl. Pick Michelle. And she probably heard that conversation because I didn't have time to really like look at it to see like what would have happened. But it's too early in the game for her to be messing up anyway when Paulie went out.
I didn't make any sense to me.
No.
This was my first. I am a virgin to the Cara Maria of it all.
Okay.
I'm not seen her seasons, and she's been gone for a while. I will say, within the first minute, just of everything she did, I 110% understand the hype that is around her, the excitement people have when they see her on their screens. I mean, to be honest with you, I was more entertained when she came out for that first minute than I have been with any of these other. And I love Devin. I really like Jordan. Yeah. I appreciate their stuff, but like, she was so entertaining and such like a fireball when she went in there. And even during the elimination itself, again, I'll give some credit to Devin because he was like funny and entertaining too. But she just like, I was glued. I barely wrote any notes because I was glued to watching her on this show. I am so excited that she is back because I think that I want to see her in a real season, and I know I don't want to say these words, but I know she's on All Stars 4.
What?
Even though we're not supposed to know that, and we know it anyways.
What? They've already shot that?
I'm way more excited for that, seeing this, and like, I get it, everybody. I get it. And I'm not going to lie to you, once again, more entertained from her in a minute than I've ever been with Tori.
Interesting. I will say this, and I wonder how many hotties will agree with me. This is one that I do need people to post about. So when you're listening to this, just like go over and like submit a thing. This is like new Cara.
Okay.
This is new. I believe in myself. I'm proud of myself now.
Okay.
Cara. To me, this has felt like the opposite of what Cara always was seen as on the show. That's why she made that point of like, you guys are actually the heroes. That was me. That was always me. I was always the runt being thrown in. I was the outcast. I was the weirdo. I was the horse girl. And I was always getting shit on. And so it was easy to just go, Cara, run through Cara, and she's whatever.
Yeah.
And she was always like, why me? Like, come on, like this. And now she's kind of like, she evolved and changed in those last few seasons she was on. She became like, kind of like overly arrogant.
Okay.
To a point where like people were starting to turn on her because it's like, we didn't fall in love with you like this. We fall in love with the underdog.
Got it. And
now you seem like you're the people that used to shit on you. And we don't like that. So no, I don't like this. So, but I do like the energy she brought here. Like that's what I want when these people come in. Yeah. But to me, like this is like Cara 2.0 or 3.0.
Interesting.
You go back and watch like most of her seasons up until like the last two. I don't feel like that was her. This was just new energy. This is like big dick energy that we got from Cara. 1,000% big dick energy from Cara here. And then that all went sideways very quickly.
Well, once again, she was given an elimination that doesn't make any sense. For the clips that I saw, her like movie trailer again got me super pumped up. Like the list of achievements she has that TJ was listing off. I mean, incredible.
And like a resume like that probably cannot be topped in terms of females.
And then they put some puzzle pieces on a brick. I don't understand.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Again, like I said before, she made it entertaining. How she like blocked Michelle with that one block.
Yeah, I think she knew that the puzzle part was not going to be her strong suit. So how can I like hold her up? She's having trouble flipping these things over. I'm going to give myself more time. Great idea. Again, oddly, it seemed like there was a lot of people cheering for Michelle here. There was a lot of people trying to give her input. I don't think she needed it at all. Right? She didn't need it at all. You know, she goes, puzzle, this is me. I will say, when all this episode was said and done, I'm not going to say I had a tear in my eye, but I was so proud of what she did in that moment.
Yeah.
Because I don't think any other female up there could have handled that, like, what happened. Like, I am sitting pretty. I have done the absolute best gameplay. And this is the thing that I appreciate about her. She has learned all these skills. She has an innate ability to do what she does on this show. And she can also come in from the rafters a week after being scared to death that your arch enemy was going to come, pull that out. And a week later, we thought it was going to be a guy's week. It's a girl's week. I'm good. We're gravy. We're sailing past this. I'm sitting pretty. Oh, fuck. I'm getting pulled down by Cara fucking Maria. Jesus Christ, center myself, do what I need to do, get out. She deserved to take the bow on the top of things. I know
agree.
people are going to shit on her for that. No, you fucking earned it. She earned it more than fucking Raven did last week. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree with you. I mean, those blocks seemed incredibly heavy. She was able to push through that. There was a physical element to this that Ravens just did not have. And that puzzle, sure, there were people yelling stuff up in the rafters, but I think it could have been the editing, but they were like, oh, you need a piece with the white part there, and she already had it there and was putting it in.
Yeah, that wouldn't have helped at all.
Yeah, so I give her all of the credit. I think that she should be incredibly proud of herself for handling that as well as she did.
And boat raced her too, by the way. Car had like 2 pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was behind, and then she just absolutely slaughtered it.
I was concerned in the beginning. I was obviously rooting for Michelle. I was a little concerned when I saw how Cara got all of those blocks over on her platform so fast.
I was like, this is another season where she's just played again, it's like Survivor, where like the jury gets to vote for like who played the best game.
Yeah.
And like for 2 years in a row, I would probably tell you she's played the best game.
I completely agree.
If that's how she would have gone out, I would have just fucking devastated for her.
She deserves to get to the final.
She deserves to get to a final. I feel like she deserves to sniff a win, if not get a win at this point. Because I think for some challenge fans, and I don't want to speak for everybody, and I would love to see like hotties again, your thoughts. At a certain point, like we cheer for like Leroy, and a lot of people were cheering for Nani.
Who the hell is Nani?
The artist formerly known, Babe, formerly known as Nani.
Okay, got it. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about
you
that.
could have just said Babe.
Before she was Nani, before she was Babe, she was Nani for the most part, where people wanted her to
Understood.
win.
I didn't realize there was a pre-Babe.
Pre-Babe stage. You incubate. She was like a caterpillar.
It was BB. It was before Babe.
Before Babe. The challenge BB before Babe. Oh, okay. I know what season that is. It's the one where they had the club underneath in the basement. And they had the floating island in the middle. That's BB before Babe.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of.
Go ahead. I know you're going to do it. Go ahead. I'm shocked that it took this long.
I don't know if you guys saw it or not. Michelle tweeted that the club was in the basement. She tweeted it.
Vindicated.
It only took a little bit of time, but we knew it. We all knew it. Now, did we say it about this season specifically? No, but those are
semantics.
Little details that don't need to be.
Semantics, boys and girls. How
I saw
dare you?
Club basement, and I was like, retweet.
Retweet immediate. Retweet immediately. I love the people who like commented back and they were like, "You guys you finally got it." Like we're playing the long game, club in the basement. You guys, long
Next
game.
is gonna be somebody's gonna say that somebody was putting their dick in the glory hole hallway, and that's why we don't have it anymore.
Somebody on production got fired.
Yeah. 2 people in production. One was putting their dick in, the other one was sucking it. They got caught, and that's why we don't get the glory hole hallway anymore.
Yeah. It just or it was stolen. It was stolen like a fine piece of art that it is.
Yeah.
You know, it was like part of a real life Ocean's 11. They just stole the glory hole hallway right from the production truck. Unbelievable.
Fucking dead. What a week.
What a week. What a great elimination we had the past 2 weeks. I will say, I'm about to say something here that I don't know if I should say.
Oh boy.
I'm going to channel Gen Z. Those the young ones right now, right? The kids, Gen Z.
I don't know. I don't do maths.
The show's cooking.
Ah.
Did I do that right?
I think so. Let MTV cook.
Let MTV cook. Let this show cook right now.
Yeah,
Because it's really good right now. Like,
I agree.
Those were 2 really good episodes of content for me.
I think we can safely say that Brad will be next because they're definitely ending with CT, right?
Yeah. Which means we now know that there will be no girls eliminated for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then I assume we're doing. Well, let me look real quick. Let me see.
Don't forget about the ladder, because we still have the third step in the ladder. Because everybody knows a ladder has 3 steps.
Yeah, I mean, only idiots would not know about levels and ladders and step ladders.
Elevation.
Oh, elevation gain. Yeah, what type of grade we're going up? So as of now, because the site I'm looking for obviously does not get screeners like the number one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 women are left in this game right now.
Okay.
Going to, let's see, this was episode 12, right? 11 and 12. So that'd be 13, 14. So starting episode 15, we will still have 8 women vying to win to become the new champion. 8.
I'm not going to say it. I know you want me to say it, but I'm not gonna.
No, I wouldn't do that to you. You've had a week. I wouldn't do that to you.
I'm not gonna say it.
You know what I will say? You've made it to here, and you're looking at the time left on this podcast right now, and you're going, what the fuck? How is there more time in this podcast?
Oh, that's right. We're burying the lead, aren't we?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Number one, just doing number one things. Boys and girls, this is the Right Realities interview with Cara Maria. Oh my God, she's here. It's been a long time coming. Not a Taylor Swift reference because she won't like that. Mm-hmm. But Cara, hi, how are you?
Hanging in there. How you guys doing?
Doing really good.
Thriving,
as the kids say. Yeah, we were supposed to do this interview with my previous co-host before Mixie here about 5 years ago, and you were not going to be let out of the hotel. And we brought donuts. We had the whole thing ready. It broke my diet, at the time. So we're giving you the floor to apologize for breaking my diet. The floor is yours.
I mean, the fact that you had donuts and I wasn't even able to crawl through the window to come down, because literally I do anything for food. I'm very highly motivated by food. So I'm sad that I missed it, but I'm glad that we're here now. So, yeah.
Yeah, we get to make up for it now.
Yeah, totally. No donuts. Sorry, we don't have your address. Couldn't afford you donuts. We definitely would have. Well, you're back, but you were technically already back, but in this multiverse that we live in, the timelines are different. You're like a Marvel character, apparently. You can travel through timelines. How does it feel to be a Marvel superhero? Do we have flying cars yet in the multiverse? Please tell me about all the great things we have in the future.
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, I don't think we can really talk too much about the future, but if the future is discussed in any sort of parallel universe, I bet that it's nostalgic and amazing and incredible, and that fans are just going to be even more ecstatic if we could talk about it.
If you traveled to the future somehow, which obviously you can't do, right?
No, but I can tell you, in this universe of me being back, all I can say, and I'll announce this from the rooftops over and over again, I am just so blessed and thankful to be back to the challenge, to be back in the elimination arena, to see TJ, to be in the dirt, to have everybody that's ever supported me and have my back been calling for me for as long as they have. Like, I wouldn't have this chance to be back if it wasn't for everybody, constantly being like, we miss Cara Maria, please bring her back. So I am thankful a million times over, all the way around. And I am so happy to be in my home, which is the challenge, and which is that elimination arena. So it couldn't be any happier.
Yeah, just to see you and Mr. TJ right next to each other. Oh my God, just nostalgia bomb for everyone, I'm sure. Just all of the feels. So, as the internet does, the internet likes to talk, likes to chat when there's no official word on things. There was a lot of insider theories about why we haven't seen you in a while. You go on a streak as long as you do and you don't show up. So from your perspective, from your view, were you just not getting calls, or was this a preemptive break that you decided to do yourself, that you needed some time away?
I'll say that absence makes the heart grow fonder. And in my time away, I have become so overwhelmed. I've been able to remove myself from the immersion that my brain was in when I was on the challenge. There was no escape of the challenge. And I've been able to see it from a different point of view now. And so with me being able to come back in the state of mind that I'm in now, everything that I do, it's in good fun. It's in jest. It's in fun. It's knowing that I could go in and have the entire house against me, even my own boyfriend, Paulie, if it's part of his game to send me into elimination, and I'm going to have fun. Everything from this point on forward is just about, yes, there's a lot of money on the line. Yes, I damn well want to increase my elimination record and get at least minimum New Year's resolution goal, one more challenge win before I decide to move on to the next chapter of my life. But at the same time, not at the cost of my character. And I'm just going to be more me and literally just understand that the game is the game, the challenge is what it is, and have fun. Because the amount of people that get to do and experience what I've been blessed to is like few and far between. So I'm just thankful, honestly, to be back. And that time away has given me a time to, I feel the universe works in the ways that it does. And I've learned, I've grown, I've come back mentally 100% different. And at least the fans and everybody else has had some time to cool down, take a step back and be like, you know what? We asked for the Vacation Alliance. And now that we've gotten it, we were wrong and we miss you. So please come back. So I think all around, lots of lessons were learned.
Wow. This is what we expect.
The facts that are just being thrown at my face right now. I love it.
So you were getting calls, confirm or deny?
I think that when it comes to challenge and production, that they work the way they work and no one will ever know. So if you have any specific questions on casting, you should production, not the cast.
Noted. We will delete the next question. That was an immediate follow-up.
We'll move on. Let's move on to the current universe we are in, which is Battle for a New Champion. I want to discuss a little bit about the purple jacket, orange shirt of it all.
That was not.
I know.
That was a 1,000,000% not planned, which is why when you see the reaction video of me and Jarrell, and when I ever saw Laurel go in and say purple jacket, I lost my shit. I was like, no, she didn't.
Well, that's kind of what I was going to ask you was there sort of like conversation between all of the people that were coming back being like, we're going to go for Michelle. Was it just kind of like the way she responded to your question, a combination?
I can throw a million reasons every time, like of why I'd pick Michelle, just because fuck it. But it literally all boils down to my one plan was to cause chaos. And she was unfortunately the first one in line. And all I wanted to do was, because I've done challenges where like everybody says the same name over and over and over again because they're besties. And I'm like, well, let's fuck up the besties, right? Like if you have to call there's a totem pole somewhere, right? So let's see your cards. Really was what I was trying to do, because isn't that what the viewers want to see? Isn't that what I want to see? Like something, you know what I mean? Babysitter's Best Friends Club, right? So,
I couldn't agree more.
That's all I wanted. I wanted somebody standing up there, and afterwards, Nerese came up to me. She goes, I was ready to say somebody else's name. I don't care. And I was like, great. Then I wouldn't have picked you. Like, I just wanted to see somebody say somebody else's name that, wasn't the winners or the two that everybody already said.
Mm-hmm.
So if Michelle would have said a name, would you have kept going down the list to see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do. I 1,000% wanted to see what they were going to say.
Because that way you're kind of exposing their game, which is part of it as well, right?
Hilarious.
Which is, on the face of it, great for content for us, because obviously you've listened to our show. We're the number one. No big deal. It's obviously what it is. But we're not one of those, the great thing about this is blah, blah, blah. We like to have fun like you do. So it's just great content for the two of us.
And if RuPaul's Drag Race, I am like one of the biggest fans ever. That is the show that I will watch. And the worst thing ever was when Mama Ru sits there and goes, okay, so one of you, why should you win and not these other queens standing beside you? And it's like, you have to sit there and plead your case.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be like, everybody should win because we're all best friends and I just love everybody. And it's like, fuck that. It's the challenge, bitches.
Absolutely.
They can kindly ask us for that clip of what you just said, the challenge bitches, and that better be part of the trailer for, any future timelines in the Marvel universe.
I love it.
Yeah. I wanted to ask I think one of the things you're most known for is saying cousin a lot. Have you seen the show The Bear? And did they pay you to be able to license that from you? Because I assume you own the copyright.
I've never seen the show The Bear, and I actually have no idea what you're talking about. I don't actually watch. I'm not even kidding you. Except for RuPaul's Drag Race. Ask me about the queens, we'll talk.
Okay. So there's a show on Hulu called The Bear, and there's a guy who is just constantly, like, every other word is cousin. I was watching it. I was like, Scar on the show?
Maybe it's in New England. Maybe they were raised in New England or even Jersey. But like growing up, even my aunts, it's auntie, uncle. And when there's multiple aunties or uncles in a room, I forget. I'm like, oh, I have to be specific. Auntie. And like, they don't answer. I'm like, Auntie Cheryl. Like, they're just like, what? Because it's always auntie, uncle, cousin. I don't know. You call your mom and dad, right? Nobody makes fun of you for that. So
that's true. The other thing that I feel like you're a goat at, if you will, is having great conversations on the buses back from things. We don't see that anymore on the show. What makes a good bus ride home and a good bus argument?
Oh, we're talking about the Anissa fight?
Yeah. It's just a lot of fun on the bus, and we don't get those anymore. So
they won't show us bus scenes anymore. They won't show us
bus scenes,
I think it's unfair. I feel like that's where the meat of it is.
There's so many layers to that, I think, because of we're usually on ice because immediately the bus scenes are usually when shit just went down and then we're all thrown on the bus and it's like we're sitting there and like we just either the arguments ensue from what happened earlier or the challenge or the elimination just happened and everybody's got to talk about it. And so that's like the real authentic in the heat of the moment, as opposed to if we hold it all in now and we're like, wait, we can't wait, we gotta wait to talk about it, Mm-hmm. I don't know why. That's another production. You need to get like one of the producers on for these questions, my friends, because I don't have the behind the scenes. I'm just in the scene.
You think they're going to let us talk to those people? They've listened to our show. They don't want to talk to us. Come on.
Oh, man.
We're hold some accountability. They ain't coming. They don't want the smoke of the number one. That's basically what we're saying. Oh. Just like nobody wants the smoke of you in the elimination. Last question. At what point when you got down to the arena or whatever we're calling it this year and they unveil that it's a puzzle, did you go, son of a bitch?
I'm notoriously, I've said this before, I'm either, when it comes to a puzzle, Rain Man, as, I can list multiple times of like when I clutch pivotal moments of winning the puzzle against Johnny and his cousin. Johnny and his cousin on Bloodlines to make it through. When I had that puzzle on the redemption challenge on Dirty 30 to get back in the house, when I had that puzzle on War of the Worlds 1, when I had to like solve it on the plane to skip the next challenge and go straight to the final. Like I have won puzzles, ridiculously weird puzzles in clutch moments. And then I've also absolutely brain dead on puzzles, such as when Paulie Rain Man's the first one on was it War of the Worlds 1, where we all came barreling down the hill and we had to solve a puzzle and he was the first one done and I was probably the last one, like before Theo chose me. That one. There was, the one that got me into the elimination to begin with against Johnny Bananas and his cousin when it was the tangram. You know what I mean? So I either get it and it's done, or blank out. You get to short circuit, does not compute. You know what I mean? So in this case, I was like, okay, big, giant, heavy blocks. Got it. Right. And then they're like, puzzle, you gotta put the picture together. I'm like, fine. Right. And then they're like, by the way, there's also a picture on the bottom of it. So there's two sides of pictures and one of them doesn't. And I was like, all of a sudden, that's when my brain started being like, what? So it's like a bogey puzzle. And basically on one side, it's shades of gray. And then on the other side, it's shades of gray. And then when you're flipping and you're in it, and these blocks are coming right up to my chesticles, and it's like, you can't really, it's hard to see a full, like, it's nice when, I guess, when you're watching it and you get to look down and see the giant puzzle coming together, like as a viewer from the drone perspective. But when you're like in the trenches trying to figure out what lines go where, and then you're turning these ginormous boxes, or maybe it's not that box, maybe it's on the other side of the box. So I started putting it together and thinking I had it. So when I realized that I couldn't figure out the pictures, then I was just trying to be like, maybe I'll block her from moving her pieces. Like, I didn't know what to do.
Big brain. Big brain move right there.
Hers the same as mine. Like, I was like, I beat myself in that elimination. I let myself down. You could have put me up against a can of paint, and I would have lost. I would have timed out because I was not getting that. So that's on me. So I am sorry to everybody who is expecting Cara Maria to come in and crush it. But I will say, I did win just by being back in the arena. The fans did win because I will keep coming back. And the show did win because I caused chaos one way or another. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm in there, it ain't going to be like, I'm besties with everybody. I love everybody. It's going to be like, let's fuck it up, guys. What can we do?
A woman of the challenge people. We love you for it. Thank you so much for all of this. This has been an absolute blast. I'm glad you guys missed your first interview so we could have this one.
Hey.
Hopefully there'll be plenty more to come.
Yes, we shall do it at another point in time. Thank you so much. Good to see you back. Good to see you smiling and laughing. That's the girl we love to see.
Yeah, she's finally back.
Let's go.
Cara Maria is here, and it's going to be a fun ride now.
Ha ha!
You've tried that. You've done this twice now as like our enders, because obviously we were recording this before we had our interview.
What a good one! That was a good one, Cara.
What great things she said to us. All of the insight that we clearly know now that she said.
That comment, I was like, what? She said that?
And then that other thing, and I'm like, yo.
It was a pleasure having her. In the future, I can't wait to have her, and then you have already seen it.
I mean, obviously not recording this before because, just great to have her finally on the number one.
Long time coming.
We tried this a few years ago, and we got stood up. Well, in a way, it is what it is. Absolutely wild, but this has been a lot of fun, and thank you guys for joining us back here after the 2-week hiatus. We're super excited to keep this going for another 10 episodes or something like that at this point?
Probably the rest of the year. Who knows?
Yeah, we're making it to August at this point, boys and girls. Let's just keep going. This will be the first year-round season of the challenge.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's like 90 Day Fiance. They just roll right into each other. You're like, hold on, which version of 90 Day is this?
Uh-huh.
Is the other way around? Is this, before the 90? Whatever it is. But
who the hell knows?
Who knows and who cares, honestly. That was great. Thank you guys very much. We love you very much. We will see you in 2 weeks. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.